And today we're using a human only team with Krillin, Tien and Yajirobe. We start off with a blue card on my opponent's SSP Goku, dealing some great damage. We then get the solar flare off with Tien, and then use his blue card on MUI. We then catch MUI Goku in a sidestep with Yajirobe. Continue the combo as my opponent switches into Tapion. Get the Rising Rush with Krillin, and then use the Rising Rush to take out my opponent's Tapion. We then dodge the mid-range blue card with Yajirobe, use a Blast Arts, and then his blue card as my opponent switches into MUI Goku, who is taken out. We then dodge the legendary mid-range strike with Tien, deal some pretty good damage, and then finish off the match with some tap attacks from Krillin. And today we're using a Dragon Ball Saga team with Roshi, Launch and Yamcha. We start off getting SSJ2 Goku to dodge, and then immediately using a Strike Arts, using his main ability, and then using our ultimate with Yamcha. Which takes out SSJ3 Goku. We then use Launch's main ability and catch MUI Goku out in a sidestep, dealing some great damage to the whole team. We then use our Rising Rush to get rid of Vegeto's endurance. We then dodge his attack and use 2 Blast Arts to take him out. Finally, we use our main ability with Roshi, use his green card, and then use his Strike Arts to get rid of MUI Goku's endurance, switch into Yamcha, and then take out MUI Goku. And today, we're using full power Jiren alongside Whis. We start off dodging Bardock's attack and catching him out in a Blast Arts with Whis. We then use a strike, switch into Jiren, and then use 2 Blast Arts to take him out. We then immediately use our blue card against my opponent's Super Vegito, dealing some good damage. We then dodge his tackle, use his green card to push him back, use a Strike Arts, and then our Blast Arts. And then my opponent guesses our Rising Rush, but we dodge his attack and then use some tap attacks to take him out. We then catch my opponent's Gogeta as he tackles us with Whis' Blast Arts and get into a nice combo with Whis. Switch into Jiren, use a Blast Arts with him, and just as we're about to get the legendary finish, my opponent forfeits. And today, we're using a revival only team in Dragon Ball Legends. We start off in a Strike Flash against my opponent's Tapion, which we win. Dash forward, use a Strike Arts, and then switch into Cell, and then Rising Rush my opponent's Tapion, taking him out. We then use a green card with post-revival Gohan, catching my opponent's Gogeta out, and dealing about 75% of his total health bar with the 3 Blast Arts in our hand. We then use our blue card as my opponent's Gogeta floats to mid-range, taking him out. We then get my opponent Goku Vegeta unit to dodge, and then immediately dodge their attack, use our main ability, use a Strike Arts, sidestep, use another, and then our blue card, which just doesn't do enough damage to take him out. Luckily though, we guess my opponent's Rising Rush, dodge their tackle, and then use our green card, pushing them back, and then using the cards in our hand to take him out. Would not recommend this team, it has no defense. And today, we're using the LF androids, Blue Android 18 and Yellow Android 17. We start off perfect vanishing MUI Goku's attack with Blue Android 18 and dealing some great damage with 3 Blast Arts in our hand. I then drop the combo, anticipating SSJ3 Goku, but my opponent switches into Vegeta, allowing me to switch into the LF androids, use their green card, use a Blast Arts, and another to get our Rising Rush, switch into 18, and then use our Rising Rush to take out my opponent's SSJ3 Goku. We then perfect vanish MUI Goku's attack and use 2 Strike Arts to take him out. After getting rid of Majin Vegeta's Vanish, we then use our Blast Darts with the androids, and just as we're about to get the legendary finish, my opponent forfeits.
まったくあっけないね。
じゃあな。
And today we have a 1v3 scenario with Red Zenkai SSJ2 Gohan. We start off using our green card, and then our main ability. I then get the androids to dodge with the Blast Darts, and immediately use our ultimate as my opponent switches into his Vegeta Blue, who is easily taken out by Gohan's ultimate. We then get the android to dodge again, by using a tackle. We then get into a strike clash with my opponent's Ultra Super Vegito, which we win, and then use 2 Blast Darts to take him out. I then mistakenly use a Blast Darts in the mid-range, allowing my opponent to use their Rising Rush on me. Luckily though, we do guess theirs, so I get them to dodge, and then immediately use my own Rising Rush, dealing about 17 million damage and taking them out. And today, we continue the tradition of using Mono PUR once a season. We start off dodging full power Frieza's attack, switching into Vegeta, catching him out in a sidestep and dealing some great damage with the Blast Darts, as my opponent switches into his Angel Golden Frieza. We then switch into Super Vegito and continue the combo, and then use his main ability and then his ultimate, as my opponent switches into his first form Frieza. We then use our blue card as my opponent uses a Blast Darts with his Angel Golden Frieza, one hit KOing him and taking him out. We then dodge full power Frieza's attack, use the Strike Arts, and then push him backwards with some tap attacks. My opponent's first form Frieza doesn't dodge for some reason, so we can take him out with Ultra Super Vegito. We then dodge my opponent's tackle and get into a Rising Rush clash. We don't get that high of a score, but it's still enough to win, allowing me to finish the game with a Strike Arts and then a Blast Darts. And today we're using the new free-to-play Cell against a perfect opponent, Mono PUR. We start off dodging my opponent's attack and then using our green card, catch him out in a sidestep. We then begin the barrage of Blast Darts against my opponent, dealing some great damage against a 14-star team. We then use our main ability to get our blue card and then use it, as my opponent switches into his Vegeta, dealing in total 4.5 million damage to the whole team. We then catch my opponent's Vegeta in a sidestep with Kid Buu, and then take him out with our ultimate. We then switch back into our yellow cell, dodge his attack, then use our green card and catch my opponent again in a sidestep, and use 2 Blast Darts to take him out. We then switch into our LF cell, use our main ability to catch my opponent out in a sidestep again. I then try to get the LF with Perfect Cell, which we end up not getting as they survive with just about 1,500 health. In the end we use Kid Buu to take out my opponent's Goku. Overall I do like this new Cell, he's definitely better than the free-to-play Majin Vegeta. And today we're using the Super Saiyan Goku from the Metal Cooler movie on the Super Saiyan team. We start off with Zenkai Goku dodging MI Goku's attack, and then use our main ability with Green Goku, and then our blue card, dealing some great damage to MI Goku. We then get my opponent's androids to dodge, then get my opponent's Vegeta Blue to dodge, then they use their main ability, we then dodge their attack, use the Strike Arts, and then our blue card to take out my opponent's Vegeta Blue. We then cover change into Green Goku to tank the android's blue card, get them to dodge our attack, then dodge their attack, use our green card to get our Rising Rush, and then use the 2 strikes on our hand, and then the Rising Rush to take out my opponent's androids. And today we're using the new EX Evil Buu, who just got his Zenkai awakening. You start off dodging Ultra Gogeta's attack, switching into Evil Buu, and then using 2 blast darts dealing a great amount of damage. You then dodge Goku's attack, catch him out in a sidestep with Zamasu, switch into Buu, use a blast darts dealing an insane amount of damage, use our main ability, and then our blue card as my opponent switches into his Vegeta. And we deal over half of his HP. We then use our green card, dodge his tackle, use our blue card which he dodges, and then use our Rising Rush as my opponent sidesteps with Ultra Gogeta to take him out. Goku then dodges a blast dart from Evil Buu, we then dodge his blue card, and then use a blue card of our own to take him out. We then use our green card with Evil Buu, dodge the legendary mid-range strike, and then use a strike of our own to take him out.